Oh my gosh. Alright. You know what? We're gonna have to do it just like this for a while in the dark. But anyway. What the fuck is up, YouTube? Welcome back. I know you guys can hear me. What's up, fuckers? The primals, the modern, the Lux Maxers, the fucking red pillars, I don't know, bro. These recent years, my high school years, have been filled with a bunch of bullshit, man. I mean, a lot of it's true, and a lot of it's just like, fuck. Everybody's gone to the extreme. And when you have a philosophy, it's mostly subjective, and it's not objective. When it has guarantee objective, then you will know. But if it's not, then it could be subjective. And I don't know. It really depends. And then you really have to look at your sources and go into detail. Because, like, for an example, I don't know why there was... And it was a temporary phase. That's why I'm like, I don't know if... I feel like there's honest people out there. But the vegan thing, the promotion of it, it was a trend for a little bit. And then it faded completely. And it was only, like, a trend for the most smallest time frame. Not even, like, a 5 year. It was probably 2 years or 3. And then people went back to eating meat. Just a trend thing. Because, like, Netflix and what people were posting. And I don't know. You got to check your sources. You got to understand if data or certain things are real. You can't always take your word on certain things. Because, as we know, the government likes to... Oh, my gosh. So as we know, the government likes to experiment or do a bunch of shit or test certain things, or we don't know as much as we think, but we can't control our closer environment. And what comes into our environment, you really got to look at those products. So the way you sleep, the way you eat, your lifestyle, people, a bunch of everything else is just bullshit in life. You don't really need. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's a social thing or consumerism. Money, you gotta remember, money is like the biggest thing right now because it gives people a better chance, better life. And people are gonna live whatever is good, whatever is sacred, whatever is the method. People want to gatekeep and restrict them from that access as fast as possible. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Genetics is a very real thing, as people don't seem to realize. But also, epigenetics is very, like, extreme too. I would say it's a balance. It influences a lot, but I see people running. I don't know what's going on. What the fuck? Forget, some are out and people are out just like, but anyway, yeah, a lot comes into matter into play, and yeah, that's what I'll say. And the main thing right now is fuck everybody else, bro. Politics, it sounded like so much fuck shit was going on, and I was so involved, and it sounded like hell what was going on in the world. That was probably a thing that was such a big trend my senior or junior year, and then all of a sudden, coloring. All of a sudden it changed, because I was like, never mind. Like, seriously, I was just like, never mind, I'm not doing that. Ever since I heard clavicular, and he was like, bro, what's next? Oh no. Politics are so useless for people who are not elite. And he was just mentioning a lot where I was like, damn, a lot of it is kind of bullshit. And it just got me thinking. I was like, fuck no, I'm done. I'm done. And yeah, pretty much. And also, what I was gonna get at was, bro, this sounds like people are having a fuck fest. Bro, I forget that people go outside. I just forget. But yeah, it's lifestyle improvements, all that. My social calibration, my battery, the way I speak to people and talk has fluctuated like crazy. Can't even be around. I can't even do certain shit because of the lack of my day-to-day being out and socializing in general. I talk to the most smallest people. I don't even really go out. And if I were to, it's because of Isaac, but still. And I mean, I'm surviving, I'm living, and I'm actually pretty well in shape, and hormones are not too crashed. It's the social calibration that's what's fucked. And also another thing is, yeah, I just got lucky. Like, I'm not killing my body anymore. I'm not doing too extreme. There's just a bunch of factors where it's meddling it out and balancing it. Oh, damn, that's a badass Corvette. That's deadass a badass Corvette. I'm so glad I went outside. Yo, who's that? Oh my gosh. People are just swimming. What is it? Running, lifting, and doing certain things have been, going. Age, my hormones and everything is changing, so testosterone, lifestyle, mindset, it has for sure evolved. If I were to talk to some freshman kids or be around, I'd be like, fuck, you guys are young. And it's gonna hit a peak. And it probably might evolve to rugged, with age, but yeah. The worst thing I say for people is taking a gap year. Gap year is truly the worst if you're not doing shit. When people say I need time to reflect, dead ass, it's good if you actually really lock in, but realistically, I don't know. And then a gap year, it's like, well, if you're gonna take a gap year, you better be doing something on finding yourself, not just being like, I want to relax the whole year. Because it's like, what the fuck are you doing with your life then? I mean, unless you're out and socializing, but even then, that's still like, at a certain point, it gets like, just ass, and I don't know. To be like that, like, all the time is just terrible. There's so many people out. What the fuck? There's so many people out. Yo, this kind of looks cool on my screen right now. I have it like gray for the blue light, which I should have put it on earlier. But yeah. When you're not really doing shit with your life and you don't have a goal, it's like what the fuck am I even doing? And the worst part about all of this is that I'm not the people that I want to attract, the people I want to be around, the life that I want to live. I'm not even doing the bare minimum anymore. I'm deadass just waking up once in a while, exercising, eat, sleep, once in a while go and see friends. Like, that's not even living anymore. And I'm just consuming content or just AIing shit or just the self-improvement space and this doing like certain things is so ass. And when you're too critical and when you're too like trying to figure it out, it's just dangerous. And if you're gonna do shit like that, I feel like on the side you should be like trying to replace it. That's my tip for people. Because my problem is that, like, for an example, it's like, okay, I have this plan. Like, you're trying to go to Greece or move out of your house or do all this. Yeah, it's good to have a plan, but what are you doing to prepare for that? Like, what are you doing actively right now? Because you can have a plan, but if you're not executing the plan, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And, like, for an example, I could have probably be excelling in running right now, which I'm just got back to, and I was like, I could be excelling in it, but I don't even know. And, what is it? Also, like lifting. I mean, I got back to exercising, got back to my goal, trying to gain muscle strength, and I think it is working. Like, I have gotten way stronger again. I'm back to my peak strength that I was in high school. Probably will get stronger if I work towards that, for sure will. I'm doing a lot better. And then mentally, I'm more around people. I'm understanding the certain things a part of life. And this is my wisdom or my advice to other people out there that are graduating high school. And they're they're exactly in the same situation. These are going to be like unlisted, but probably in a playlist that people want to go see. When I actually do post videos of like good ideas or whatever I want to post. Because this, as I said, everything in life, I believe, is a hobby. When you're trying to train for running, if it's even jobs, I want to treat that as like a hobby, not something that's like my main life too much. It's going to be a huge portion, but it's not going to be end all be all, you know? I think what's truly important is the people, the memories, and your loved ones, and creating a family. I think that's the biggest thing in life, creating a family, reproducing, repopulating the world. That's like the biggest thing. And I feel like if you don't do that, it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing in your life? And the beautiful thing about all of this is that I think the reason why people can't really live a happy life without it, truly, because you look at elite people or people who are pretty well successful in like the business or the career industry or just lifestyle in general, and then they don't feel fully complete. They're still going day by day, but it's a meh. But I feel like if you're doing stuff that is objectively could improve your life and always has a challenge or always something new, you can never get bored of life. You're always working towards something and you're just happier. And it's something new every day. If you're working towards something like a main outcome, but it's something new, you're going to enjoy it. Like track and field, I'm naturally more inclined, right? Genetics, right? Epigenetics, genetics. That's like the favor of it. But I enjoyed it because every season was new. I got to see my old teammates. I got to do so much stuff. And I'm internally grateful. And I thought whatever I didn't experience or was like, oh, I've already experienced a little bit more. My last years of running. Things change, things happen. And it's not exactly how it would always turn out to be. It happened and it's an experience and gave me that mind where I'm like, okay, I want to get back into it. It just gave me something to do, purpose, and it made me feel good as a human being. That's why I say, like, have your hobbies as a human. Have your thing that's going to get you your income or whatever can supply and give you a better life. Huge portion. And then the people around it. People around you, so important. And then creating that family. I feel like creating a family is big, super big. Because, like, look at people who are super wealthy, but they're alone. And it's a small percentage, a very small percentage, I believe. I mean, I could be inaccurate, but they don't want to be alone. Like, realistically, we're not, biologically, we're not meant to really be alone. We're not meant to always be around people, but we're not meant to be alone. That happens. People are alone. They got everything. They're like pretty much killing it in the workspace, making good income, but they're lonely, and it's reasonable. But it's still very important. You look at people who are hobbies, and I had family who were family members, and currently, not just before, but currently, where they never worked or don't work. And it's like, even their hobbies, it's like, they get bored, they're super unhappy. Those are the worst. Those are not going anywhere in life. Those are just people who, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. A balance in life is key, and that right there is just terrible. But when you have a goal, when you have something, you do gotta work for it. Like realizing there's genetics and there's epigenetics. And epigenetics is what you do by your environment, how you live, the lifestyle, and that determines a lot more. So you can have really good genetics, but like pretty much saying is what I'm getting at. Like you could be Usain Bolt level of genetics, but if you don't train your genetics to its highest potential, it's like, then it's a waste. That is epigenetics. The ability to maximize your genetics. But yeah. And I feel like you can get by if you have like a family. But the thing is, you can't live without supplying your family. And then I think also we are still individual human beings. Yeah, we like to be around people. We want a family, biologically speaking. But we are still individual human beings. And we like stuff to ourselves. So if you had hobbies, then you worked. And then you work your way to get a girlfriend. And then you work your way to date, and then, have love and whatever. It happens. It's all a balance. I'm currently right now trying to, in this state, thinking like, should I date? Should I not? And I want to have the highest echelon of natural. I always want to do things natural, healthy, mostly healthy. It doesn't always have to be primal, but, something that can improve someone's life. Because if you stick to only natural and be like, oh no, I'm going to stay away from medicine, I'm going to stay away from this, and it's like, okay, then you're essentially delusional. But, yeah, that's what I say. There's people outside, bro. It's quite active. But yeah. So that's what I say. I'm working on that. My goal is to be having kids. I don't know about marriage. Maybe I will, but kids, all that. Wife. Just using wife as an example. A loved one, partner. Working toward that, that's a big goal, but it requires a lot. You can't just get it, and you can't just be mediocre. And if you do mediocre, you're getting the lowest of the lowest. And that's if you can nowadays, because the hypergamy is like insane. But if you get everything in check, like your odds are going to be way higher. I need to build income or supply and career or job for starters, and that's not really too difficult to say. And then what else? Picking up like a mental or creative hobby, because like the physical, what the hell? The mental and the creative one, I already feel like I already essentially got. Or no, the physical one I already essentially got down, kind of. And right now I'm already well occupied with the physical. Like I'm preparing right now on like July 26th. the 5K in San Antonio. Might try the 10K maybe, I don't know, if I'm really in shape. But that's what I'm trying to do right now, is the competition that's coming up. So I am training for something like physical. And I got things to support it, like, actually do stuff with running, calisthenics, because I feel like I'm great at it. And just find what's best, physical. Don't go too extreme on the hobby, on the physical. I just need to pick up the mental and, creative. Which creative, I feel like this would be it. Mental would probably be language, as of right now. And yeah. And I think I can get started on all of that soon. Also, I believe a little bit in spiritual morality or something. Picking that up a little. Because morality, I went through a situation with my friend. And as every man, I struggle with lust. And my boy, his girl was struggling with lust. Well, his ex. And I tried insinuating something on call, though, not like in person. But it doesn't matter, it's still bad. In that moment, I was like, bro, I need to pick up something spiritual. I can't just think there's no consequences or there's nothing. And nah, there is morality, there is something. And the acts of good, I believe there is acts of good, and following it, there is a morality. I just need to find things that are the best towards it and live a better life. And I think if I were to check off all the boxes, like right now that it's not family or girl, I would be busy. Like, for an example, like I can already see my life. Like physical, I get up, go to a team, train with them. Mental, I can do it with the team or just alone. Creative, I could do something like this, probably would be alone. I don't know. You need to see. And mental. And the money. And those are just day to day. That's the thing. That's like day to day. And that could last a bunch of years or a little years. It just needs to be monitored. And everything needs to be challenging or not, or just change it out or whatever. Those are not have to be permanent. If anything that's not a biological imperative or necessity, you can pretty much just like switch out. It's up to you. And I wouldn't say sticking to one thing and always doing one thing for years could be healthy and good, unless you really like it and it's just who you are. Like for me, running, I've been fucking doing shit with running for like going on 7 years, 6 years. Like I've been doing this shit for a while now. So like that's what I mean. And I enjoy it. Like there was a period where like 3 years in, almost 4, I was already getting tired of it. And then I got like a pretty good break, a few months, and then I got back to it. And then I've taken a break again here for a few months. Now I'm getting back into it, and it's like, I'm ready. I miss the sport. I generally miss like the training and all that. Like that, bro, that's what I mean, like the beauty of it. Like I'm so grateful that I did shit with my life. And I understand like epigenetics. Like there is genetics. But motherfuckers like on the looks maxing or the BP or whatever you want to say is just, you go to the extreme where it's like, holy shit, do you forget about like literally epigenetics? Like that's a huge thing. Like there's chronic stress, which is DNA damage, and then there's acute stress. And acute is not bad like stress, it's actually really good. But yeah, that's what I say, like there is a balance. And it's all about managing and, having a team or whatever, or people to make sure you're good. Going to paid professionals. And, like there's a reason why. Life coach. Bro, there's a lot. And that's like another thing, that's the beauty of like older people. Like, that's the whole point of having someone who's elder in your life, I believe, is to pass down wisdom or stuff. Like, there's always a science or something behind it. But yeah, that's what's my gift. Don't take a gap year for people who are, if you're in like high school preparing to graduate and you don't know what you're doing, bro, go to college. People are gonna be like, it's a Jewish thing and you're getting scammed and blah blah blah. It's like, well, if you don't have fucking shit, anything to do, the worst thing you could do is absolutely do nothing and fall into degenerate behavior. Stay away from it. You are prone to doing stupid shit when you're alone. You're prone to hurting yourself when you're alone. Like, those are studies. Those are real studies. Rats will poison themselves if they're alone in a cage by themselves. Or mouses. I can't remember, rats or mouse. Like, there's just a bunch. But when you got people and they're looking out for your best interests, those are the ones that usually succeed and always live a long, happy life. Unless something traumatic happens, but that's a terrible way to look at life. I used to, like, my mindset back in, like, school and everything was so bad. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, it was so terrible. And this is what I like. Like, I like doing these night walks and just talking. And I hope one day I have more confidence to just walk and just have my phone out. But, yeah. Like, I remember back in high school, like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And I had a lot of daydreams. I was probably doping. I don't know if I was worse or... I think I'm about the same. It depends. A lot of things have trade-off. Because physically, I was healthy but unhealthy. I was under-fueled, but I was always in running shape. And I was always, like, had good, like, health, like, BOT and everything. And strength. Socially, it was good. I was around people. Calibration was on point. Like, I had stuff. But then I also, like... What is it? I didn't really eat well. Never really, like, tried bonding too much or not. Which I'm also naturally an introvert. I just don't like talking to people. Maybe I need to train myself to be more, like, balanced. It's probably what it is. And then also, I just went to school, ran, came back home. I got home, would either work out or I would just watch videos or just chill. And that was really it. Like, the thing about high school that sucks is that I didn't go on those dates, or I didn't experience and have a normal life for myself. But the good thing is I'm young and I can still change that. But time is going by faster and will run out. And I just need to balance it. I need to figure out how to maneuver my life around. And it's all how I want to live it, and it can never be perfect. The one thing I realize with looks and with everything, you cannot be perfect. It's actually impossible to be perfect in all metrics. And true perfection is being really high gifted at something, but having small imperfections. Because imperfections, like the minor ones, is what creates perfection. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And I'm not trying to be cheesy and be like, oh my god, like, he's saying, like, oh my god, he's just saying it just to get clicks, or for people to like him, or blah blah blah, or he doesn't like his nose, or he doesn't like this or that, and he's just trying to cope. But no, it's true. Like, humans are naturally the best of the best. They have minor imperfections. Like, it's not possible to be perfect, and if you are, it's a little concerning. That's why you look at those videos or stuff, like AI people, they don't even have like oil glands. They have extreme, like, symmetrical faces. And it's just too much. And we can tell when something's fake, because if it's too perfect. Yeah. Besides the point, my whole thing was, when I got out of school, I didn't know what to do. And I had this, like, own best way to put it, fantasy. And the best thing you should be living towards, and the best thing you could do for yourself, is being realistic as possible. Be realistic as possible with yourself. When I was young, like for example with women, I was kind of cold. I thought you'd just be really nice. I thought the girls would like the nerds eventually, because you see it in movies or shows. I felt like I was kind of nerdy and weird. And I was like, just take your time. Be super nice. That's it. Well, just being nice, it can maybe help, but it doesn't get you anywhere. And I'm not saying like it's all about looks. Looks was very important. I didn't try as much on my appearance, and I just started to try on my appearance now. So appearance, that was a huge thing. So it was appearance, it was just lifestyle. I wasn't really doing anything when I was young. And I got into like 8th grade, I was starting to do stuff, and I was starting to get good at it, like running. That's when I joined track. I was a fucking loser. No one knew what I was doing. People just thought I just went home after school and I wouldn't do shit. I wasn't trying to be cool with everybody or go and do what they do, and just a bunch of things. Like I didn't try as much, and the way it came off was like it seemed like I just thought it would just happen for me, which that's why epigenetics exists. And yeah, I do believe genetics will get you there faster than anybody. Trust me, I'm a byproduct in running. Like, I didn't take much. I could have been varsity my freshman year. I didn't really do shit. I was malnourished. There was just a bunch of things that, like, I got nerfed so hard in general, and I kind of excelled. And I know people who've been training years, and they can't even run like an 18-minute 5K. Because that's what I was pretty specialized in. Or mile. Like, I knew a dude that he hit his PR after 3 years of running, or 4, in high school, and it was like a 5:30 mile. And I was like, damn, in my mind, I was like, I ran that shit my first year of running. First year. No training before. 2 meets in, or 3. So, it does get you a huge start, but I got in further progress because of the training. I've improved my potential. So anyway, what I'm getting at is do more stuff for yourself. Things are like essentially not gonna get handed out for you, but just like, I guess try more and just create a life for you and manage the life. Maintain, bam. Life is short. Don't let things consume you. Don't consume too much. Don't be passive in life, where you're just in the passenger side. No. Take initiative. Actively do stuff. You gotta be the one to do it. When you do stuff for you, and only you make sure you do it for you, that's a life worth living. A person who's experienced a lot, grown a lot, made mistakes, failed, succeeded, did the most. Just make the most out of it. That's like a life worth living, people. It's just a life that's great, actually. So yeah, that's what's going on recently, and yeah, I'm building it slowly, what I can do, and we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there slowly. It's weird, and we've been in better spots and we've been in worse spots. There's been some moments this year I've gone out of my house and never really been in my room or times where I just wouldn't be at the house, or I would just be at the house. It depends. Like, it's so difficult. So difficult. But yeah. That's what I would say. But I'm ready to live active. It's like, for an example, sex. Like, people need to realize how degrading and sad it is. So I lost mine at 19 in like October. And like, imagine just hearing other people's experience, and you watch videos and you imagine like, oh, that's good. I just living in passage mode, and your way of source of happiness is by someone else's experience than your own experience. That's why now, like, I don't really like movies. I don't really like shows. I don't like things that I can only be happy if it's off of other people's success. I just want to be the main character. I just want to live my life. I'm not against being a team player. I'm against being on the bench and watching the other people play and being content with that. So yeah, that's the worst thing for everybody that they're doing right now. And people have mentioned it the Red Pill years, or just in general, but people can't quit, is watching everybody else's life and they can't do anything. I deleted social media, I deleted TikTok, I deleted so much shit, but I couldn't delete YouTube for a while. And I remember deleting YouTube and I was like, damn, this is weird. I even have, like, I've had Spotify. Yeah, if I deleted YouTube, I think the lowest I got was this year off of stuff like entertainment. And I still have it technically, but this is more recently. I only have like I had Spotify. I deleted Spotify. So when I drive now, I'm going to have to roll in silence, maybe relax. I don't know. But I had stuff like that. And I just don't want to sit and consume, like, just consume and consume and consume. It's not what I want to do. I want to create. And there's nothing bad if, like, it's okay to consume a little and watch or go passive stuff. It's okay, like a very small percentage. But it shouldn't even be a daily thing. It should be like, something you do on the weekend, like when you're a kid. Like, I remember, what is it? Like, we're here now. I'm inflamed. I've been eating so bad and just a bunch of other stuff. But I remember when I was a kid, like, I wouldn't, like, it would be a gift. I remember I was probably the healthiest when I was a kid, actually. I ate clean. We always drank water, ate good food, stayed away from bad stuff. Didn't really have a console. Before I had the Xbox and stuff, I would just get home and ready to play on my tablet or Netflix. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I would play games on my tablet or Netflix when I was down home. And when I was in school, I went to a private school, and I didn't have a phone until I was 15 years old. And yeah, and I got hooked. I surely got hooked fast. And I didn't really get hooked to my phone until I was 16 years old, and ever since then I've been hooked. So this is more of a recent thing, and I've been trying to monitor it ever since, technically. And I actually remember a lot from my youth compared to, and I felt like I did a lot in my youth compared to more recent years. what is it? Like an example, I've been consuming consuming so much shit for the past 4 years like crazy. I'm overstimulated. I'm just overly doing stuff. Wow, when I was younger, I wasn't really doing that. I remember when I was really little, before like middle school, before I had a console, yeah, I would just do my normal days. I would get up and maybe I had YMCA or I did like a little stuff, like activities, and just played with people. I've always been introverted. I never had like a bunch of friends or try to go out and do stuff. I never went to a bunch of people's birthday parties. I've always been a guy to myself, and I guess that's me to blame. And I don't know if I'm upset about it or sad. I wish I had gone and done more a little. I wish I was around more people and I managed it better, but I also like being to myself. I feel like that was I still feel like it's one of my biggest assets because I know how to be alone. But I've overly done it. In recent years, but when I was a kid, like, I remember at school, I would just go to school early, like in the morning at 7. I couldn't watch stuff on my tablet, especially when I had the Nook years. I had like an Android. I would just leave it at home, get in the car, listen to the music, prayer, get over there, do my school stuff, and then I would get home and then be on my Nook or just watch stuff. And I was just always watching stuff. And life like that wasn't too bad, but it is a little boring. But it wasn't too bad. And I also like the way the dynamic of school was just bad. Oh my God, school. That is one thing I'm so grateful about my life now. Oh my God, I wasted like a huge portion of my life recently. Because I just think about it. Imagine your curriculum, especially in America. Like, you're just at school for fucking a few hours, like a majority of your day. And it's like, God damn, like, it's just, what the fuck do I do? And it's just ass. Like, it's generally just shit living your life like that. So that's one thing I don't miss about school. I miss certain concepts and ideas of it. And like, man, like being with people, being around them. It was so easy to socialize. Having to be productive once in a while. But like the amount of hours I had to be there was fucking terrible. Especially when it just sucked. And what else? I would do that. And yeah, pretty much that was it. And then when I got to like around middle school, I already had like an Xbox then, so, and then like a tablet with like service. So I would bring my tablet in the car, go to school. On the car ride, just watch videos or listen to music. And then, but that was if I did. I was usually tired. I was always tired as hell. I would watch videos coming back home. That's what I would most do, using the tablet. But in the car ride, going to school, I was always sleeping. It's just never, I could just, and it's funny now, I can actually wake up like how I did in school, but I guess it's just, I've conditioned my body for so many years now, I've been able to do it. And it's actually weird waking up late. I hate waking up late now. That's the funny thing. Like, all the years of my youth, I hated waking up early, and now it's like, damn, I miss actually waking up early. And then I miss, like, seeing, like, the sunrise when I was, like, running and, like, all that. So, I think that was because of high school. When I was young, it just sucked. And it also just, like, depend. So, the most I was ever busiest was my junior year and my 8th grade year. probably, I would say. But my social calibration has always been like the worst. Like the absolute fucking worst. Like ever since I was a kid. And I think it shows because of it. I think it's just because I never really worked towards that skill. Which is unfortunate. I would always had like the fear or something. Which I want people to know who are older, younger, fix that as the time you have left on this earth, because you don't want to live your life in regret or anything. It's kind of a scary thought that we have to die. Pretty much just being about my experience in life. And yeah, I remember like 8th grade, I would get up for cross country in the morning. This is how my day. So like middle school, when I got to middle school, I had like a console. And I were going to friends' houses and I was doing more by then. I would just... Damn, I don't even remember. Wait, hold on. I would get up. And when I hit middle school, I started doing more sports, actually. I was actually playing sports, like, after school. I would just... I think I would just... get up, sleep in the car, get to school, do majority of schoolwork. And middle school was actually pretty fun because it wasn't as annoying. It was like elementary. I feel like they were way more strict and just doing way more bullshit. It was actually pretty easy. It actually felt like it was like high school. And the only reason why is because private school, they're more strict. But the work was actually like easy, realizing now that I'm older. And people always let me cheat off of them. So yeah. And then high school was just, it was just kind of not that bad all around. But yeah, so, pretty much, and I'm saying this pretty much, I would go to school, get out, and I would prepare for football practice. And in the summer, I would always do like a little... Ever since I started football, I was doing like football camps in the summer. I was doing shit in the summer. And so I actually did stuff by then. And when I joined track, 7th grade, it hit COVID, unfortunately. So I ran like only one meet. People realized I was like, okay, Johnny can run. People liked being around me more. I was able to socialize more. When I was in 8th grade, by then mostly, I was the most social ever. Like, I was just talking to people just to talk to people. But I was still really fucking weird. Like, really weird. And the worst part is, I get the weirdness because of my cousins mostly. I adapted a lot because you are a byproduct of your environment, I believe. And I love my cousins. I'm not going to put them on blast on the internet too much, but they are bums right now. And they're very weird. And I was not like that when I was younger. Not really. It was just because I was around them more. I've always been to myself, but I was never really weird. And, when I did that, I think, like, what is it? It was like 7th, and then the COVID year, and then being at home, which that did not suck. I did not really mind. Actually, holy shit, wait, I've just realized, I'm going to be able to say it. It felt like a blur in life. Literally, COVID year, the time that I was, stuck at home. That's crazy. It was pretty much like a blur. Like, the exact same feeling. Like, I just felt like, meh. Like, I felt like it was shit. Wow. I remember, it wasn't as good. But I think I wasn't doing too bad because of TikTok, dopamine, a bunch of shit. And I was starting to get more ambitious and excited for 8th grade, and then high school. I was like, oh my God, high school is going to be so crazy. And then I was excited for my body to mature and look more manly. And I was thinking that I was going to be tall and Giga Chad and whatever, but I grew to be kind of tall, actually. And face and body. I think I'm a little harsh on myself. I need to remember to think, like, I'm fine. Like, I mean, hypergamy has increased a lot, and then, like, inflations on a lot of things have physically and looks, performance have increased a lot, but I'm not doing too bad. It's not where I can't live my life. And that is just purely decision based. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Yeah, that's what I remember. So like 8th grade, I joined like cross, and I remember the morning practice, and I excelled at the meets. People liked being around me. I had more people to talk to. I was probably doing my best eighth grade, and academically, I was so focused more into school because I thought I was gonna go to a private high school, and I needed my grades to be good. And I was like, okay, I need to fix all my mistakes from the recent years of slacking, just for later realize I went public because I moved. So I did that, and what is it? My biggest thing, and for people to know, is that I don't take enough chances. I don't put myself out there enough, and I'm lazy. So if you can, for you guys, that's my weakness, avoid those because it can fuck you up. But thankfully, it's not making me too bad. But back to what I was saying essentially was that, yeah, I was pretty much popping. Like that was my schedule. I remember I would wake up during that time, go to practice, then go to school, and then school. If it was depending on the year or the season, then I would go to football practice, and then I remember always just doing that. And I remember coming back home, and I was just chilling. I would probably during that time I would hop on video games. Or that was a year I was actually really productive, and I was like, oh, I can't. I gotta. No, I think I was playing games, and I was close to my friends because we would play Fortnite during like Zoom calls for like school and shit. But yeah, so I was having a blast. The only thing is games. I was getting so bored of games. I don't think I've ever been a video game like player. I think I've always been like the type of kid to do shit in person. That's just who I am, and I think that's just a natural thing for anybody. I just can't play games now. I was only able to play games, especially by myself when I was really little. But that's because you're a kid. But now that I'm, like when I hit probably 8th grade, it just tanked to the roof. And I was not really playing games anymore. So that's what happened. Like, that's how it went. Did cross, went to school and then play football, and then I would just go home and maybe play a little bit of video games or just do schoolwork. I was doing schoolwork, maybe after school. And then pretty much I would just chill and sleep. That's all I would do. And it being like that, it was just so good. And the thing is, you should always try to do stuff day to day, and then maybe switch it up. Maybe in a new decade, change your priorities, or literally life should be like a continuation of school, a mixture of school and just look at human biology and human nature. Like, there's a reason why majority of our systems have been created to be like this. Like, not all of it's good or perfect, but not all of it is bad. And some have good intentions and some don't. There's a good and bad in everything. There's a yin and a yang for everything. So my advice is take a little bit from school or don't or whatever. It dead ass generally depends on the type of person you are. Anyway, I just pretty much give myself a whole schedule. I just did this shit easy, bang. But yeah, that's what I'll say. I did that. That was my day to day, and when the season changed, I would just morning, rest, and then school, and then track practice. Or sometimes I would get up earlier in the morning. It just depends. Because that was like the time I was starting to get into sports more, and I was just excelling at it more. And then when I got to high school, I just felt like I fucking sucked. And I lost encouragement, and it tanked freshman year. But the people around it kept it entertaining where I wanted to continue. And freshman year, it was like always flipped. It was always flipped. And then plus, I was going through so much life changes. But that was one thing. I didn't realize how much, and this is more like recent years in just life, and I'm so grateful for this experience. Because I would have been more fucked up if I just went to the typical path and did everything like how I have been. But adapting. Certain lifestyle, like all my equipment changed. It's in the storage. Some moments I was malnourished, like during cross country, and then when I got to track and we moved in the house, then I was able to eat good, and it just depended. It depended a lot, and that's what happened. New school, a bunch of things. It was super stimulating, but I enjoyed it. Then, like, that's the highlights of my years, pretty much. Like, I really started enjoying school probably around 7th grade, and it didn't feel like a blur, because 6th grade sucked, kind of. 7th grade was a lot better, 8th grade, and then 9th, and then 10th, and then 11th and 12th was just like, yeah. It wasn't terrible, but it kind of started going back to the OG days of like when I was little. But yeah, and then like my freshman year was just flipping in. That was pretty much it. I wasn't really doing too much. I wasn't always getting home late. My sophomore year I was always getting home late. Sophomore year. And then I just got really lazy, for an example. Like, I was starting to get really lazy. The freedom kicked in. I was like, damn, I can do a lot. And then also, it's just my phone. I got really addicted to being on my phone. And just certain things. I just adapted like everybody else. But some things, like I said, are good. And there's some things that are bad. And that was like the bad thing. The phone was the worst. And it's funny because I had my phone the shortest amount of time ever. The shortest time. And then I started like by, what was it, like sophomore? Junior year. I was like, you know what, I don't want to be using that shit. You know, that's crazy. That's how you know I've put in a lot of hours of social like media usage or just using the shit out of stuff. Because I never had Instagram. I never had like TikTok until like my freshman year. This is like people need to realize that people had this since they were middle school, sometimes elementary. I didn't have this shit until I was like 15 years old. Until I got to like pretty much high school or was already in high school. And I didn't start using that stuff. And I used it for 2 years straight. And then I tapered off on and off with it. And fuck. I'm telling you guys, it fucked me up so much. It fucked me up so much because it was just like, damn, this is so hard to like do shit. Like I just get bored or I was like, damn, I'm not really doing much. I'm just consuming like crazy amount of shit. It's funny to just say, but fuck, I'm like realizing it because I feel like I've had like a phone I felt like I had a phone or just media or whatever for like forever. But then realizing it, I'm like, damn, no, it's been like actually more of a recent years thing. Now, it would be different on like TV shows or movies. That I've always been like doing like fucking couch potato, like just binge watching shows and movies. I've been doing that since I was a kid. That doesn't feel like anything like damn, which is probably not a good thing, but I never really did it to the extreme. I would only do it on the weekends. And then sometimes my mom would put us in like YMCA or just do certain stuff. My mom always made sure our health and certain things were good. My mom was never a bad mom. Damn. I feel like now I judge her parenting, and I feel like I'm a piece of shit. I feel like, oh my god, yo, this is like the biggest like wake up. Oh my goodness, you know when you just really slow down, you're not really addicted to your media, you're off your phone. I deleted my thing again. I went to my hometown. I wasn't using social media or anything, and I was just only had Spotify, and that's all I had. And I was just doing stuff with cousins, or just chilling, or just figuring out things to do in the meantime over there. And now that now that I kind of relived like how I used to, like when I was a kid, I would just go and try to do stuff with my cousin, or just go to the creek, or just go out and do stuff. And when I came back here, which has been like just a few days, I've overly consumed. And today I was like, nah, I need to go back to being that healthy. I was like, I turned my phone into a dumb phone for a reason. And I gotta fix my melatonin, I gotta sleep good, I gotta do everything right. And now I'm thinking, I'm like, fuck. My brain has slowed down, I'm not overstimulated as much. And I'm just thinking right now, like, fuck, what the fuck did I do for majority of my time? Not just being off of school, like, I mean, I'm not gonna trip, because I mean, it's bad that it's been a year and I haven't really done too much shit, which, guys, literally don't do a gap year. But, and just like now that I'm reflected in my lifestyle, my choices and everything, they were never too bad. I'm glad I never really did drugs in high school. I'm not mad that I tried them. I to be honest though, I am kind of regret like drinking alcohol. I was so retarded. And then trying weed, like it's more dumb than I thought it would be. I thought it would be cool. I generally thought like doing weed was like badass, and now I realize I'm like, fuck, this is so retarded. So overhyped. Sex is not overhyped. I've heard people say that, or it's like it's not as good as the blah blah blah. It's not, but it's not something that's like a whole fucking different, like if you've masturbated, it's like you're pretty much getting the same thing. The only thing is you do feel way better because you're with a person, and it's just so trippy when you're like, damn, I'm seeing a girl's breast, or I got her naked, or I'm fucking her, and like it's just trippy. It's like, what the fuck? Or kissing someone, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, especially when you've avoided it. I've avoided it for so long. I've had the opportunities, and I should have taken the opportunities when I was in school. Because, like, why not? Like, I should have just lived a little, you know? As long as it's not damaging your life or your health or anything, like, just live a little. It's fine. Make room, balance. And I had plenty of room. Majority of my days, I was just fucking slacking. But, yeah, that's what I'll say. And, God, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I've calmed down. My mom did a lot for me. My mom actually made the most and did the best for me. The only time and the only reason why I'm like this is because of I see the change. When it got to like elementary, my mom always did the best, always did the most for me, made sure. And she was doing a lot when she was in school too. And we were doing so much with our life. We traveled a lot. That's just how I lived. And my mom was a very good mom. Just a very good mom. And then getting to middle school, she was like that still. Yeah, she was just still like that. It wasn't as like crazy, but yeah, she was still like that. It was until I got to high school where my mom was like, she just straight up told me, she was like, you're gonna manage your own thing. Like freshman year, she was like, oh my gosh, she was super like parenting. My mom, my freshman year was super parenting. She was still like that. I was like, I don't like it. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then sophomore year, I was like, damn. I was like, I remember how I was when I was a kid. I was like, I should have not cared. So now I don't. I don't at all. So, yeah, that's what I'll say. I should spend more time with my mom. I used to sleep in her room or always be around my mom. I miss my mom or my sister. Yeah, I've gotten like so introverted. There's probably something wrong actually. This isn't probably healthy. Like I know I've always been to myself. But I used to be around people. That's my problem. I'm not even really around my family. Guys, be around people. Find balance. You don't always have to be around the same people. You don't always have to do everything like crazy amount. But just be around. Be around. It helps a lot. But yeah, and do stuff with your life. Just do stuff and follow your biological imperative. It's that simple. Just like school. Just like any, principles or anything that was like back then. Like I remember used to eating with my mom like at the dinner table, and then when we got to like pretty much high school, I wasn't eating at the table anymore. It's fucked. Like I started acting more like a teenager just in my room. And it's worse now, but I need to fix that. I need to spend much time. And yeah, pretty much. It's just crazy. I'm realizing, like, damn, I'm kind of like a fucking asshole to my mom. This is so bad. I'm exposing myself on camera, realizing, like, I'm a little bit of a dick, how I am, my behavior, my lifestyle, my choices now. Yo, I really don't try. This is going to be, like, a segment where I'm just, like, realizing what the fuck they're talking about. This is bad. I must have been so overstimulated so much to the point where I'm just reflecting only about my life and how I am. And I'm like, right now I'm realizing like, damn, now I see why my mom was like, I don't help out or I don't really do shit. Now I feel bad. Fuck. But anyway, oh, my mom. Oh, I feel bad. feel really bad. I need to lock it. I'll fix it. Though. I've never been bad. I just need to pick up certain things like how I used to. But that's what I'll say. Yeah, that was like my lifestyle. Freshman year, I was still kind of around my mom. She was always kind of like super parenting. I spent a lot of time with her actually, especially for the fact that my sister, she was still fixing her life up, and she was like going to school. I think my mom and my sister, their dynamic is way closer, but not when I was like in 8th grade or 7th or 6th or 7th or 8th grade through in freshman year. She wasn't. Our dynamic got a little better. I was around my mom a lot. I was always getting dropped off or taken to places, because of school. I was starting to implement the bus. I started riding the bus way more in my sophomore year. That's where the shift where I wasn't really around my mom as much. And my hormones were firing my sophomore year. I didn't want to be around my family. I couldn't stand it. Junior year, life hit me when my sister left. I was getting tired of my sport. I was just doing shitty in school. I was underfueled. I wasn't eating correctly. I wasn't sleeping. The boxing took a toll out of me. It fucked me up because I couldn't keep up with it. The two sports will make you lose a lot of weight. It was overly too much. I got burned out because of that. Which I would have probably done a lot better in general if I didn't do the boxing. Not at the same time. And that's pretty much what happened. The relationship between the family, my sister left, my mom, and then her partner, and then just how I already was in high school. It was already changing. Junior year, I was actually being a bum. I would just take the bus or get picked up or dropped off or whatever the case was. My mom wasn't needing to help me out that much. Senior year was a little different. Me and my mom, we were around each other more. But my mom, I remember, like, by sophomore year or junior year, I think she just told me, she was like, you gotta take care of yourself. I'm not responsible anymore. You're a grown adult, pretty much. You're gonna be a grown adult. And yeah, that's what she told me. And then, yeah, senior year was like the last. She was like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And she would step in once in a while, but nah, it was like way different. And then now, she's letting me, well, she doesn't have any say. I'm already grown up. She's just like, you better get a job by this time, or do this, or get the fuck out of my house, which is understandable. Which I really need to lock in and do that. I've been slacking this week. I was actually looking at stuff, and I kind of narrowed it down. But no, I've been slacking more recently. But anyway, yeah, I guess certain things have been established ages ago. That's universal for all people. There's a bunch of things. It's not a problem doing everything like everybody else. That's why there's objective and there's subjective in life. Yin and a yang, a good and a bad. Bam. But yeah, that's what I'll say. I'm kind of getting it checked. Just need to map out life again. Which I'm about. I'm already getting there. It's just actively having a goal, going towards it, improving life, improving quality more life, and yeah. But I'm just saying this for people. Try and do stuff. Don't get addicted. Don't be, you should want the desire to be bored, because I feel like when you're really bored or you're really tired of where you're at, that will get you anywhere. I started working, which I didn't, that's another thing that's such a bum thing. I got my license when it was senior year in the summer. I didn't start working until like midway when I got back from spending some time in Del Rio. I started going to clubs. I started meeting more people. I started doing more stuff where my life was getting exciting. And right now it's kind of there and it's kind of not. It feels like I'm stepping into something, but not fully. And yeah, that's what I'll say. Your first years, it's going to suck if you don't, because it's all on you and how you want to live your life. And pretty much, I guess, life or like the government or just things in general, people who have ran the world or been here before have gave us key ways or better ways to live life. But it's entirely up to us. It's entirely up to us how we want to live it. And yeah. But I'm ready for like spirituality. I might get back into like Islam or just church or whatever. And I want to improve the quality of my life. And yeah, just pretty much that. I know I'm going to make mistakes, but just live it to the best potential I could. And yeah. And that's just the chat. Finally moving forward. We got the idea. This is my gift for you. My little yap too. And hopefully I will be making more like video ideas and inspiring. Because I remember when I was a kid. I've always been doing stuff like this. But when I was a kid, I was really inspired to do content creation. And I like more content creation than streaming, in my opinion. Streaming is good when you want to yap. Or stuff like this. Like, I like to yap. But I feel like videos are superior. Because it's short, quick, fast, and understanding, and yeah. I don't know, some people get really creative with it, but yeah. And clipping, only good if you want to put out like a little quick information, but video is always superior to me. I just, maybe because I grew up like that. But anyway, yeah. This is with Johnny again, and hope you enjoy the video. I am going to eat something sweet, maybe, or snack on something, or make potatoes, and yeah, go to bed and get up and figure out what I need to do, or the schedule, or whatever. And yeah, all right, motherfuckers. I'll see you. Baby. the Snapchat. Thank God I never had Snapchat. Anyway, I'm done. I'm just jacking off because I'm bored. But I'm probably gonna just take Tylenol and go to sleep. Or not Tylenol, melatonin. I haven't taken sleeping pills in ages, but I went to bed at like 6 last night. It's cooked.